and welcome to my easy to understand guide to Atypical and the TV industry. This video is going to be particularly relevant for you if you are studying OCR A-level media studies, as it appears as one of the set texts for exams from 2025 onwards. Currently, the set episode for study is Series 1, Episode 1, Antarctica. The show is a Netflix original, which reflects the fact that there's been a real rise in streaming sites and popularity of streaming-based content in the last few years. Lots of audiences now going online for their content and want their content on demand. And streaming giants like Netflix have risen to this challenge, not just by distributing a whole load of content from other companies, but by starting to move into production themselves. Netflix, for example, was mainly famous for distributing DVDs to start with at the beginning of its career, and then obviously streaming a lot of content that they didn't produce themselves. But the fact that they've now moved backwards into production and become vertically integrated just reflects the fact that they can see that there is money to be made in producing their own original content. The writer and creator of the show is Rabia Rashid. They'd worked previously on very popular, successful TV programs like How I Met Your Mother, Bad Teacher and The Goldbergs, so bringing with them a certain amount of clout, success, and maybe even some pre-sold audiences. Netflix themselves are obviously a very big global company. They reach a huge number of modern audiences. It's available in 45 languages worldwide, and they have 247 million users worldwide as well. Netflix is available on smart TVs, online, via apps, tablets, phones, games consoles. So the use of this kind of real digital convergent technology in order to reach audiences. Because Netflix is such a big company and earns such a huge amount of money, they can often use tentpole films or tentpole series that they know will basically be a financial success for them, bringing in a huge number of subscribers. And they will use that revenue that they make in order to fund series like Atypical, which are a bit more risky and a bit more alternative, things that they don't know are going to be a guaranteed success. So the use of their more successful programming content helps to fund this slightly more risky content. A lot of Netflix original shows are based in quite kind of outlandish or fantasy-based locations, quite high budget shows, and this is a little bit different. It's very much focused on kind of real style locations, so kind of Los Angeles, home, workplaces, school, and the focus is very much on family and kind of normal life. And this makes production of the show a lot cheaper than some of the other original content that they make. The fact that some of the characters are on the autistic spectrum may make the show feel a little bit risky to some people. Maybe it might put some viewers off. So they had to try and mitigate some of this risk. So they cast some people who brought with them pre-sold audiences. Jennifer Jason Leigh, for example, is a famous American actress. Michael David Rappaport, again, a famous American actor. So they will bring with them some pre-sold audiences from their previous work. Other than that, though, the cast is mostly unknown, and again, this keeps costs down. Netflix did actually consult with the UCLA Center for Autism in order to do research for the show. They wanted to make sure that they were portraying the characters in a kind of sensitive fashion and that they were being politically correct. They actually cast autistic actors in supporting roles. 1 out of 2 of the writers were female. So I suppose perhaps trying to reflect more diversity within their company, within their productions, perhaps to try and make their company feel more modern and to reflect some of the kind of political contexts of things that are going on in the industries at the moment. You know, the Me Too movement, people complaining about the lack of diversity within shows. So perhaps Netflix is trying to kind of mitigate that with this series. Netflix's European headquarters are in Amsterdam, which means they are licensed from outside of the UK. And that means they are not covered by Ofcom. Ofcom are the company in charge of regulating content on most TV channels within the UK. This means that Netflix can get away with a huge amount of content that perhaps they wouldn't get away with if they were broadcasting on channels like BBC or ITV. A lot of their original shows have more adult content or more graphic scenes, and this controversial content often attracts a lot of viewers and gets a lot of publicity. Netflix do choose to put their own age warnings or content warnings onto their content. So for example, Atypical currently has a 12 age warning on Netflix. And this is a kind of way of them self-regulating to try and encourage audiences to take responsibility for the content that they choose to watch.
Netflix uses algorithms in order to offer its audiences a really personalised experience, and that means that they can choose to suggest the show Atypical to viewers that they think would enjoy it.
So that was my easy to understand guide to industry and Atypical. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for other content that's going to be relevant for you. And if you would like a video that I don't already have, leave a little comment below and I'll see what I can do.